There we go. This is K4PEW Net Control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Do we have any emergency traffic? Nothing. There, I knew there wasn't. If there was, please call 911 first, and then you can talk to us if you want to, if you're able. We don't take 911 calls, but we'll sure take them to transfer them to the right parties, just to make sure to give us your address. For information on the net, you can go to YouTube, put in K4PEW in the search block, and you'll come up Premiere, and you can watch the screen on my radio to see what my signal, what I sound like. Well, you'll be able to hear me, hopefully, on your radio, but you'll be able to hear what others sound like to me, as well as what you sound like to me. You can also get an understanding how your radios work and compare the stations I'm listening to that you might not be able to hear. At any rate, also you can go to 146415.net and look up some information on Simplex if you haven't already done so. It's kind of a helpful site. By the way, we're still the only, as far as I can tell, the only active Simplex club in the ARRL system in the entire United States. That's a kind of an interesting distinction. I thought there'd be several, but there's only one that says they're a Simplex club. Kind of weird. I know there are Simplex like DX groups, do a lot of long distance stuff on UHF, VHF, but even I don't even have any of those that are simply those DX clubs I know of in ARRL. Maybe there is. Anyway, you can also go to groups.io and look in their search block and look up MJSS. That's groups.India Oscar. You put MJSS in the search block and sign up for our email system, where you also you can ask technical questions or buy or sell equipment or whatever comes up. Many commentaries. There's also reminders about all the nets we do. The Cavalcade of Nets in particular, which is tonight. Welcome to the Cavalcade of Nets. We normally meet at 8 p.m. Every Wednesday and Saturday night. We'll on this frequency, 146.415 FM. And tonight we're doing 144.240 after the 2-meter net, and over to where are we going? 50.135 on upper sideband 6 meters, and then on to 223.415 on the FM. We're going to mention something else in there. Well, we got the 10-meter net also on Sunday nights, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Sunday nights. Michael KM4 IRF. He does that night. A wonderful job. He's about, he's got at least 2 years old. I forget how long he is, but it's been there a while, and it's got good participation. Let's see what else. Oh, purpose of it is have fun. Figure out what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and put your request in for funding from your XYL and your banker to make sure you're not overspending, because you certainly don't want to take money away from your family or from your family, your church, or your synagogue, or what else? Or your lawn maintenance. That's it. Lawn maintenance is very important. Everyone is invited to use the net to announce any amateur radio activities I'm not aware of. But please come now if you have any other events coming up. We got breakfast next Saturday over at, hopefully, over at Golden Corral, if their truck comes in. So anybody else got announcements? Well, very good. Like I said, I don't think I have any additional ones besides the nets. And looks like 6 meters is pretty quiet tonight. I was over there earlier and I don't hear anything on it. I don't know if that means it's good or bad. So we're going to take check-ins now. We're going to be starting from the south, but we're going to be taking short on time or short on transmissions, short on something, or mobile right now. Please come in.
Hey, Paul, K4PEW, would you take a short on brains?
Oh, man, I welcome those because I need some.
This is Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. Just wanted to check in. I had a few minutes, and before I get into the next process here. Anyway, good to hear you on the air, and hello to everybody on the net. WV4D.
Very good. That's Whiskey Victor 4 Delta, Ken in Smyrna. Who else is short on time or short on brains, which he says he qualifies for? I'm not sure that's true. We'd have to verify, find out if he's independent, Republican, or Democrat. Who else is short on time or mobile?
Hey, Paul, Rick, check if he couldn't be around or couldn't hear us or whatever, but check Rick in, please.
Oh, he's there. I got him. He's extra.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else short on time or mobile?
It'd be 5 easy to be. Hopefully, that 10 meter vertical TV ground plane up, and you guys can actually hear me there on the 10 meter.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be from me and Mount Juliet. How far is that your QTAs?
I don't know. I have to do a map. Northwest and
Yeah, very good. Let me see. I pulled you up earlier. I didn't look at the distance. So you are 50 miles. So I hope you can do it. It's a little tough on ground wave, you know. All right, well, very good. Let's hope it works out because some nights are better than others, as you know, on 10 meters. Very good. That's Larry. He's mobile tonight, but he normally lives in Lyles, Lyles, Tennessee. Who else is? And he's mobile. What's the movie tonight?
Let me think of the name. I think we're on the second movie. I can't remember the name of it.
Not important. Names of the movies. It's whether the movie's any good or not.
Okay. I'll let you know if it's a good one. Okay. What you do, Paul? What we did.
Yeah, very good. Whatever it is I do. That was Eddie in Gladeville. Whiskey 4, Echo, Bravo, X-Ray. Who else is short on time or mobile? All right. I don't know if I said it. We're starting from the south. Please come now from the south. All right. The ham in Smyrna who's deaf in one ear can't hear out of the other. How you doing, Tony?
I'm sitting upright taking solid food.
Oh, I need proof of life. You got to send me the picture with a timestamp.
Probably surrounded by garbage, but sure.
Yeah. Cash, or do you make a special trip to the dump?
Yes, all of that.
Okay, curious. Are they look at you questioningly like you're stealing trash?
No, I'm a local hero down there.
Well, you better start charging for autographs then.
Yeah. No, they know me as a road trash man.
You're going to start a whole business.
Maybe. Invite everybody out to Smyrna coming up. We're going to have a pickleball class out here at the Smyrna Parks. So if anybody wants to learn pickleball, it's free. Come on out.
That's the one for people who are physically challenged, isn't it?
Or mentally.
Oh, or both. They got a handicap league.
We use real pickles though in Smyrna.
Oh yeah, and over though because they don't bounce very well.
Real good.
Yeah, that's funny. I've seen pickleball on television, but I've never played it. It looks like fun.
Well, I guess my wife did do it, so I'll let you know.
Well, all exercise is most exercise is good for you. You know what I'm talking about. That's not so good for people over a certain age.
I'll take your word for it. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
Very good. That's and it's frequented by others. Well, we think people in his own community a little, it's the community is a single built community. It has an access road on one side along it. People use it to dump stuff. That ain't cool. People should not be throwing trash out off the roadway. It's just silly. That's why they make dump. I don't know. Going well, Larry. Thanks for doing the D-Star Net.
Yeah, we're good down here, man. We'll let you know what the for us.
Very good. Don't hesitate to jump in there on Saturday nights at 7:15 for the D-Star Net, which Larry does. It's Kilo Echo 4 Sierra 460. But it's in between the other two nets, DMR at 7, D-Star at 7:15, and what do you call it? C4 FM at 7:30. All right, that was anyway. Larry in Rockville. Who else is south? On the trigger. You drinking again?
Yeah, a little sluggish. Go ahead, carry on.
All right, very good. How you doing, Kerry?
Hey, good. Hey, if I beat Richard, that's doing something.
Oh, I know. He's right on top of his game usually, but I think you were ready.
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a good day on this beautiful day today.
Oh man, today was beautiful. It really was. Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, and it was nice and breezy. It was really pretty.
Yeah, I spent it on the tractor back there in the back, bush hogging all day.
Oh well, that's not as much fun, but at least it's outside.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse, but all in all, that's not a bad thing. I don't do it a couple times a year, so.
Now, the one you drag behind a lawn tractor, a garden tractor.
No, your master chargers.
Ah, okay, very good. Yes. How much property is it?
Honestly, I ain't got but about 2 acres back there, but it takes all day just about to cut around all the creek banks and everything else back there.
Oh, yeah. Well, 2 acres isn't a little bit, really. I mean, only have 0.6 acres, and that includes the property that the house, where the house sits. So, and it takes me usually about 45 minutes or better to do the whole property.
Yeah, if I just cut, if I do side of the creek, if I'm cutting just the around the house and the yard portion of it, that don't take but about. But if I cut everything on this side of the creek, with the regular, with riding mower.
Is there any fish in that creek?
Got that 0 turn.
No, I said, is there any fish?
Oh no, it's a runoff creek.
Oh, okay, very good. Just curious. I'm not familiar with the creek. Anyway, good deal. I'm glad you spent some time out in the yard today. Anything else for the net?
Negative. Just wanted to check in and say hello.
Gary, he's in Baird's Mill. No. Yeah, Baird's Mill. That's where he is. My brain went Mill over there. And that's Kilo 5 Sierra. Richard, what's up?
Not a whole lot. I found it last night, but we got that taken care of. My granddaughter was involved in a slight motor vehicle accident out on, out close to the racetrack. There wasn't anything to it to mount anything, but it took all night to deal with it because of slow record services and whatnot. But everything's good in the neighborhood now, and just trying to catch up on some rest and some laundry and some dishes.
So, well, when you said that about an accident, it reminds me of that saying I heard about people who fly airplanes. Any walk away from is a good landing.
That's exactly right. But anyway, I hope everybody have a great day and enjoy. I appreciate what you're doing down there, and we'll holler at you after a while. 7-3 to everybody. KI4S, I'll be back out of the way. Thank you, sir.
KI4SOR and his bride, KI4SOR, just west of Lebanon. Who else is east?
Okay. Been laying on cardboard and drenched to it down.
Yeah, boy, you're working.
Yeah, a little bit of oil change and they go done. Adjusted the throttle cable on it to a little speed going or something. Anyway, there's still a little bit of play. It ain't going to overdo no race vehicle.
That riding lawnmower I had. It's the only problem with the riding lawnmower I have. It's the only one I've ever had like that. But you got to take down the whole deck, and it takes you a good part of about an hour to do that.
Yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow. Spend most of my time changing oil. Yeah, unless you get one of them there $300 burn-in lawnmower lifts or something like that, where you jack it up at an angle and take the blades off that way. Depending on how deep your pocket wants to be, or shallow once after you buy one.
Or I could buy a hydraulic lift, a little one, just like you do for a car. That'd be nice.
Yeah, there you go. thought about jacking mine up, putting those jack stands for an end of mine, and I got the length of the jack going up and the height of the jack stands. I'm better off just taking the deck further, looking at it and everything like that. Of course, it's got to be screened, scraped, cleaned, all that.
Yeah, no. Just still a pain in the neck, though. Maybe we just dig a hole in the ground and drive it over the hole.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, that's where they do them there Jiffy Lube places. You drive over the hole in the floor, and they get down up under there and do what they're doing.
Yeah, well, kid, their house was probably built about 1920, and he lived 3 or 4 doors down from me. His garage.
Yeah, there you go. I used to work at a shop like that in his backyard.
I'm told those aren't necessarily a good idea. I mean, you have to be well ventilated, because you could be working on something and have a refrigerant leak, and that refrigerant could knock your butt right out working underneath down in a pit like that.
Yeah. I usually just, I guess for oil change. Yeah, that's one thing or another. First, you gotta be careful doing anything. Snoring. And, hello, on to that. Who can hear me and who can't? Well, do a bigger antenna or I'll get a bigger one, whichever works out. Anyway, 7-3, Paul. Hang tight and enjoy the ride. Caden or easy.
Yeah, very good. That's Earl and Noreen over by Cedars 11, and that's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else is east?
GG.
Hello, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Going well. You sound great, but I looked on the map again. Halfway between me and like Lebanon Road up there on the west side.
No, I'm out towards between Central Pike and Church Street Pike.
Oh, you're gonna have to move that location if you want to. Maybe you're trying to stay incognito.
Honestly, I haven't seen where it's showing me at on the map there.
Yeah, look it up, because you can set that yourself.
I got you.
Anyway, anything good for the net tonight?
No, my wife was getting a kick out of y'all's baseball conversation there, especially the Al Roker's comment.
That was kind of funny to me. I didn't hear it from him first, though. Someone else. Oh, I know what I think it was Reuters news service mentioned it. That's what I think I remember it was from. It's one of the international news services mentioned it. And you go, people get these ideas.
I don't know. Some agenda push, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah, and all those gas.
I don't know about that.
Electric stoves. Maybe that's it. Anyway, no, nothing. It's just I saw a list one time, and it was like it was caused by global warming and the climate change. And it was like if you took a newspaper on single line, newspaper with all the things that they've said are caused by global warming.
Yeah, everything's gonna kill you and give you brain damage and cause global warming, cancer, and all that.
Yeah, global warming causes global warming, I'm sure of it.
Probably.
Very good. All right, Kevin. Nothing else for the net?
No, sir. You guys have a good night.
All right, very good. That's Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf, and he's in Gladeville. Yeah, you got to move that thing. Everybody thinks you live in Mount Juliet, and you live in the upscale over there in Gladeville. Who else is east? East or north?
WB0NLO.
Hey, Mark. Beautiful day. We out?
Oh, yep. Was out. Cleaned the deck up. I don't know. Didn't do much, but a few things. It was nice out there. Hot dogs out tonight. We haven't done that.
The least efficient way to cook hot dogs when you can just boil them or fry them, on the stove.
Yeah, but they don't get that black crunch on them, if you do them on a grill.
Oh, I know. I used to do, my family used to do a lot of camping, and then I did a lot of camping when I was in the Boy Scouts, and so cooking outside even tastes better outside.
Oh yeah, sure does. Anyway, I don't really have anything for that
Today, Golden Corral. I just hope, by the way, I on an email, because we went last Saturday, and they didn't have, the truck didn't come in with, I don't know, the banana pudding bring in, but they wouldn't open until 10 o'clock, so we went over to IHOP. So IHOP's going to be our secondary site.
Is that the IHOP that's right there in front of Home Depot?
Yeah, that's why we went there. It was close, and we could see it from where we.
Man, I haven't been there in lots of years. Kids used to like to go there.
The last time I was there was probably 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, it's not something. I'm not normally in that neighborhood anyway. But November, Oscar. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I got to send out the memo on that email on it so everybody knows that's the backup location. Because we had one or two people where we went. The place closed. Who else is north?
KE4TWL.
Yeah, man, you got a big signal there.
Yeah, a little bit of a mismatch. Maybe it's 2 to 1. I've got it. I put it up in a tree, as you know I like to do, and it's a little bit close to the main branch. But it's like I said, I had the coax, had the antenna. It's just out here by the fire pit, so we can sit here and drink coffee, which I'm currently doing. And but Earl was pretty weak. I was surprised. Everybody else is sounding all right. So. KE4TW.
Yeah, very good. If you need help with that antenna in the tree, I think Charles is available for consulting work.
Richard was strong. Of course, he's so close. I think we're in the magnetic field. I think I got a call from Nelson. KE4TW.
All right, very good. That's for those that don't know, that's Nelson Rockefeller here with him, Wilson County. Good.
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'll let others decide. I always feel pretty good. I mean, except when I'm getting to the stage of my age where I'm in reasonably, and I use that term loosely, reasonably good shape. But that doesn't help my arthritis in my back or my hips or my knees. So I'm a little slow getting up these days.
Yeah, I've got the early onset. These little things starting to creep in that aren't going to get better, I'm sure.
No, in fact, when I mentioned it to my physician over at the VA, I said, I really is, my hip's been giving me problems. And it's not like it's horrible, not horrible pain. It's just, especially if I'm laying down, if I'm laying on my side, which I can't sleep on my back and I can't sleep on my stomach. So I'm sleeping on one side or the other. And through the night, I probably shift 2 or 3 times because I'll call it a very bad discomfort in my hip. It's not a sharp pain, but it's enough to make me, oh my gosh, that woke me up. And she says, well, you better get it done before you won't be able to get it done. In other words, I'll be too old for surgery, but my mother had a hip replacement at 86, I think. So I got a ways to go, I think.
Well, I guess there's no way out of that, huh? You got to get it done.
Well, they've got it down to a science. I mean, they do those. I'm not sure if you might be in and out in one day, but you're in one day, and I'm guessing you're out the next. I mean, I had fairly comprehensive abdominal surgery in November, and I was in there one day.
Yeah, well, that's good. Technology's always improving, making it easier, I guess.
Well, it is. It's just less traumatic, and I couldn't. It's hard to imagine they can just replace a whole joint in your hip and say bye-bye. It's just funny to me that we've gotten to that point. Of course, they do the same thing with what do you call it? Corneas, not corneas, but the lens in your eye, whatever that's called.
Yeah, my mom's got to go see some type of specialist heart doctor I've never heard of, like an electro something. Have to have something done to some nerve in her heart.
Wow. I knew a guy who had that, but that was some years ago. He had a condition and I'm not going to belabor the point, but he had a rare condition I've never heard of. He would be just normal. He was a regular guy, seemed relatively fit, but he had a condition in his heart where he would go from just normal 70 something, and all of a sudden he would race up to 150 for a while, and then it would drop down to 50, and then it would race up and get back up to 70 something. And he had to go to a doctor out in Kansas. Now remember, this is, or St. Louis, I forget where it was. I get the only doctor in the country that did it. We would go in there with these probes through an aorta, through your leg or something, and they actually used a laser to kill certain nerves in the heart.
That sounds exactly like what she's going to have done. But I think they're going into her neck, her shoulder region. So she hasn't gone to see the doctor yet. She just found out what the condition was called, and then she had to go see the specialist.
Huh? Was she having an erratic heart rate? Was that the deal?
Yeah, it was getting up to like 180, and then it'd go down to like 50 beats a minute.
Oh, I got you. Richard, did you have something?
Yeah, y'all talking about an ablation to the heart?
I don't know. Is that what it's called when they go in there and they mess with the nerves with a laser or something?
It sounded more complicated than that, like more Dr. Wordy type.
Oh, they always make it say. That's why they charge so much. It sounds expensive.
It sounds like it's terrifying, but it's actually kind of a simple procedure that just going in new part of the nerves and stuff that makes the heart function better.
Well, Richard, if it was that easy, it wouldn't make you sign a disclaimer.
They make you sign a disclaimer on every surgery.
That's what I'm saying. They always make you sign a disclaimer. At the VA, they don't, because they're not liable for anything.
Y'all carry on. KI4SIB, thank you.
All right, very good, Richard. Yeah, Richard worked as an EMT for a number of years. Anyway, yeah, well, I hope your mother does well. When's she going?
Sometime in May, but I'm going to have to get off here. My granddaughter, the radio is interfering with Peppa Pig, so I better turn it down a little bit.
All right, very good. That was Kevin, Kilo Quebec 4, Foxtrot, Echo Golf, and Beth Page. It was a great signal, by the way, tonight. Good condition. Who else is north?
KG4 K4 BWA.
Hey, hold on one second. We had two in there. We had Kilo 4 BWA. Hold on there, Ricky. Heard Charles in there. You doing all right, Charles?
We done west yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, still gotta look for a place to live and live in a vehicle on the first. My girlfriend has a vehicle, but yeah, the search continues. I'm gonna try to make one of the get-together things, the other vehicle and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now.
All right. Sounds good. I hope it works out for you.
Good to hear everyone tonight. I've got to take all this stuff out of the tree and all the radio stuff. Probably going to put all the radio stuff in storage. I'll have my
All righty. Well, you'll be able to check in, I think, or at least do a remote check-in through a relay.
KG4S.
Very, very good, Charles. I hope it works out for you. That was Charles, Kilo Golf 4, Sierra, Foxtrot. Who I heard Ricky in there. Ricky, you must be over with your meeting. No, that was Thursday night, wasn't it? How'd that meeting go, Ricky?
Oh, K4 BWA. Hey, it was good. I don't get to go as often as I like to because of the fact that I have the Thursday night net. But I'm going to try to go a little more this year. I may start going about every other month or something like that to try to get to the meetings. They're pretty good. Get to put faces with call signs. You got to meet Kevin. He was just on there, KQ4 FEG, I believe it was, over Beth Page. He does got a great signal, you're right. But there's a lot of good signals tonight, so the conditions got to be better than they were last week, and that's definite for sure there.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, it is always good. That's one of the great parts about the local ham fest that we missed a couple there due to the pandemic. But it's nice to be able to meet people that you talk to on the air. I mean, this makes it all the better.
Yeah, Roger that. I tell you, I don't get to go as often as I like to, but because I do the nets and of course I got that Facebook now where I do the Thursday night Simplex on Facebook. I guess my face is out there a little bit more. but it's kind of like everybody knew my name, and they were like, "Hey, Ricky," and you know, it's kind of like I was like thinking, "Wow, everybody knows me," you know, and I was like thinking, I don't go that often for everybody to know me. I'd have to ask them. I was like, "Well, what's your call?" Because I don't, you know, didn't know who they were or recognized them, and they would have to introduce themselves, and then I put the call to the face. But yeah, there was, you know, it just felt good that everybody, you know, recognized me, appreciates me for what I do and stuff. You know, you know, I don't do it for that, but it feels good when people acknowledge you, you know, for what you do for the club and for the Nets.
Oh yeah. Well, here's what I'm sure you've thought of it, or maybe you haven't. One of the interesting things about when you do something like this is you cause usually more than one person in your reach of your voice, reach of your signal, more than one, to be more active. And so he ends up going to a meeting, or he ends up going to a ham fest, or now he knows several people, at least on the air, that he didn't know before. So now you're bringing people actually into a broader community. And that's where that fellowship of like-minded hams get together. And it's a lot more fun, because if you show up at a ham fest, you don't know anybody. You haven't even heard anybody on the air. If you just went to another town, you know, in Kansas or Minnesota, you wouldn't know a soul. And that's what kind of how you would feel if you didn't have a connection like yourself on the air in your community.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's the whole purpose why I started doing the Nets, and you know, getting out there and you know, promoting radio was, you know, I guess most people know my story. I was a late bloomer. I had my license for probably a year before I even started talking on the radio, and I got to thinking that I wasn't so abnormal. I knew there was a lot of people out there just like me that were radio shy, and I was like, you know, I found all through my life, if I was shy about something, I would force myself to extend more into it. Like I wouldn't just sit there. I would say, okay, well, I'm shy to get up and dance with a girl. Well, first thing I know, I'm going to go ask 5 or 6 girls to dance, because I don't like being shy. So yeah, I just did it mainly to help other people like I was.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. That's what I'm saying is you're actually promoting that, like I said, that fellowship, and people show up at meetings because they think they know they're going to meet somebody they know, because otherwise they often don't know anybody. I was at a ham club meeting. I won't say where, when, or how, but went to the meeting, and I asked if we couldn't. I had to ask I guess he was the president, if we couldn't introduce, you know, new people in the room, because I didn't know several of the people in the room. I didn't know if they were members or non-members or visitors or what. He goes, no time for that. I said, well, that's a funny way to run a club.
Yeah, Roger that. Everybody gives their call at the beginning of the club, so you get if you're paying attention, you get all the call signs for everybody, and you can point out the faces, the check-ins. Most of my people that checks into my Nets, I got them pretty much memorized. So if I hear a call sign that I recognize, I'll put a lookout and see who it is so I can remember their face. But anyway, yeah, man, it's really awesome. I really enjoy what I do, and even more so, like you said, I enjoy meeting the people that I talk to on the radio. That makes it even better.
Oh, absolutely. It just makes it a lot more fun. And it is fun. That's why it's supposed to be fun, meeting other people. It's not, well, we don't get on the air to argue. We don't get on the air to air our grievances. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Well, we may complain now and again, but you know what I'm getting at. It's just most people who are on the air in ham radio are pretty outgoing and gregarious and friendly. Anyway, anything else for the net, Ricky?
No, that's it. I just, like always, I want to say God bless everybody out there. It's good to hear people on the radio tonight. 73s to everybody checking in and everybody listening in. If you ain't checking in, tune up that radio and get on there and holler at somebody. This is K4 BWA, Ricky in Portland. Giving it back to you, Paul.
Very good. That's Ricky in Portland. You probably could hear him. He's got a good signal. That's Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. He does the Nets on Thursday nights from Portland at 7 p.m. Next coming Thursday. That's where he'll be on 147 555. And I'm pretty sure we've got it in a reminder system to remind you if you forget. On the groups.io site. Who else is north? North or west?
KM4YRF.
Well, you make number 18. It beats the 16 we had last week.
Well, that is just absolutely great. We had 5 on 54 FM.
Now it's a red letter day, man. You know what? Take tomorrow off.
Well, that was thanks to Kevin, KI4ZDG.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It was good. It was good. Well, we just, we get to share all the fun just between the few of us that show up.
Well, I'm getting ready to order me a new 220 radio.
Awesome. Yeah, the one from the Retivis one you're talking about?
I'm going to get the TYT. It's about $10 cheaper.
Oh, cool. There was a comment in there? Who's the comment? Comment, go ahead. I could swear that was Greg, but I don't hear him now.
No, it wasn't me. I heard something break squelch, but it wasn't me. But I will check in KD4CVE. And yeah, that TY2 is the same as the Retivis, but the price hasn't jumped up as much as, as the Retivis. So yeah, same radio, TYT. KD4CVE.
And it's 65 watts.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, comment, go ahead.
Go ahead, comment.
I'm always tired that loud and clear. Michael, I'm going to use it, but I'm not going to call at all. This is Roy. Okay.
Roy, we'll get you checked in. Paul, that was Roy, and he can't hear you at all.
Yeah, I heard him that time. Heard him just fine. It must be him. He needs to stand up on his tippy toes or something.
Yeah, he just said he couldn't hear you at all.
Well, sometimes it's better that way.
Michael? Yes, Roy.
From here, and I'm working on my antenna, so it's honestly, but you're coming over you out clear.
Well, I'm not that far from you.
Okay, that's probably the way I gotta rotate off. But you can let him know if you can't hear me, or he might go hear me. But yeah, I just got to rotate her up and try to get it all adjusted in. But anyway, I'm going to use that. I'm just not here. There's an old time big point time, KO4LT.
Yeah, I heard him just fine, Michael.
That's all I got for him. Back to control.
All right, very good. Met Michael, KM4YRF. He's over just west of BNA Airport. And I heard Greg in there, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, and Roy, who was noisy to me, but I could copy him pretty good. Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Kilo Echo. Who else is north or west?
KG4ILV.
Victor out.
There was 2 stations in there, but Jack beat out whoever the other person was. Jack, everything okay?
Everything's great. Hope y'all got to go outside today. It was beautiful.
Oh, it was, man. I sent the wife out to bring some in.
Did it work?
No, it was nice. It was just nice to walk around in the yard. I'd cut the grass, like I said, 2 days ago, and so the yard feels nice, looks nice, and even the rabbits like it.
Yeah, it felt great out there. I did want to make a comment. You said we're the only Simplex group in the ARRL group. I think that makes us unique.
Oh, it does. It does. We're the unique Cavalcade of Nets.
That's right.
No, I think it is. This one says they do Simplex. That's that one up in Long Island, but they haven't changed their website in like 7 years.
Well, I bet they don't have a cavalcade.
Oh, you can guarantee it because I went ahead and trademarked that thing.
Well, thanks for doing the net and 73 to everybody out there tonight, and appreciate it. And I'll send it back to you. Net control, KG4ILV.
Very good. That's Jack. Kilo Gulf 4 India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Who else is west?
KO4MKD.
KO4MKD. What's up? Sound good?
Oh, not too much, Paul. I don't know what's going on with my reception, but I can only hear you and a couple of others. I don't know if it's the leaves on the trees affecting me or what.
No, it shouldn't be that bad, really, from Greenbrier, but I guess it's possible. No, you shouldn't have that much trouble from your location.
Yeah, I can easily hear almost everyone, and I've only heard one or two tonight. So I haven't been on the radio in quite a while, and I don't know what the condition is for my Comet GP9 after all the severe weather we've had. I probably need to pull it down tomorrow and just give it the old once over.
Well, the GP9 should do a fine job for you.
Hey, it always has in the past, but for whatever reason tonight I'm not hearing anybody. But I just wanted to mention for those that could be interested in it, tomorrow the ARRL is having their rookie roundup, and that's for rookies that haven't been in contests before. And I'm hosting a rookie, new guy who's just been a ham for a couple of months. And going to have him come out here to the shack, and we're going to play radio together so he can get on some of the HF fans. But a lot of it's going to happen on 10 meters because that's where the technician class can operate. So anybody who has an extra few minutes, get on the rig tomorrow and try to work some rookies. Start contests from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. local time, or 8 p.m. local time, yeah.
It's 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow for Central Time, right?
Yep, I believe that's correct.
All right, very good. If somebody's interested, look it up on ARRL and contests, or I'm pretty sure everybody has access to that information, even if you're not a member. But anyway, there is a rookie roundup. That's what Doug was just saying, tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's obviously for rookies, and a lot of it's going to be in 10 meters because that's where a lot of technicians are that people have never been, the ones that just got on the air or haven't upgraded from technician. So anyway, and if I know a guy who had a technician license. He's had it for like 40 years, but that's where he wants to stay. He likes VHF racing.
Yep, it works. I love the 2 meter and a 440, so not necessary to upgrade, but I did recently get the extra class. I really haven't used that extra band privileges yet, but who knows, maybe one day. But that's all I got. Just wanted to get on the radio and say hello to everyone, and I wish everyone a good evening. 73, KD clear.
Yeah, very good. That was Doug, and he's in Greenbrier. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo Delta. Great signal. A lot of good signals tonight. Who else is West?
KO40TV.
Hey, you sound good. How are you doing there, Joel?
I am good. How about yourself, Paul?
Well, reasonably well for getting older. I mean, I can't believe it, really. In about six or 7 weeks, I'll be 74. And I don't really feel, well, what they say, you're only as old as you feel. Well, my body tells me differently, but my brain says I'm like 38.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. It's funny looking around at all the people that I grew up listening to with music and just people in general. And I look in the mirror and I look at myself like, God, it's so odd getting old. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather be older than I would be younger sometimes. I didn't care for much when I was, I guess, in high school and all that. It wasn't a fun time, but being an adult, I liked much better. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's hard to accept sometimes.
Well, I heard a comedian this week. It was funny, just a little clip, and it was a guy I'd never seen before. Apparently, he's played in Nashville, but he said that in your 20s, he goes, somebody asked, hey, you want to go out? And you go, yeah. Don't you want to know? No, it doesn't matter. I'll go out. It doesn't matter. In fact, I'll burn down my apartment to go. He goes, now in the 30s, when you're at your 30s or 40s, somebody says, hey, want to go out? You go, is it going to be loud? I think I'll take my own car.
I'm that guy, man. I'm the first one. I'm a big party pooper these days. And when I was in my 20s, I'd be there for days partying. And of course, back in those days, I drank a lot. And now I don't drink at all. Matter of fact, I haven't had a drink in 19 years. So it's been a minute. But yeah, it's the truth, man. I've been at the stadium working all week and testing a lot of fiber that we've been putting in for T-Mobile and Verizon and AT&T. They were doing sound check for the concert tonight, and I could not believe how loud it was when they cranked that thing up. I mean, they just got it all set up. They were doing sound check for just them, not for any bands yet, because it was a little early yet, on Thursday. And I tell you, it was like, man, just to think, I used to sit here for hours on end listening to that loud, and it's a wonder I could hear anything.
Well, I contend that all those amplified speakers in those big venues, they're what causes global warming. That's a lot of energy.
You aren't kidding, man. feel your clothes vibrating on you while you're standing. Because I was standing, I mean, directly in front of it on the other side of the stadium, and I'm looking right at it. Of course, I mean, that's not saying a whole lot in that stadium. It's not real long. So I'm standing directly in front of it on the other side, and when that thing kicked on, it scared the living crap out of me. And I'm telling you, that's a lot of power coming out of all those. I mean, they're stacked horns, that are 50 feet high, and there's 6 towers, and I couldn't tell you how many rows of speakers in the back for subs and mids. It was unbelievable, man, to say the least. It was a pretty elaborate setup.
Well, think about this. People do go for the music, but they wouldn't feel the same way if it was just regular volume. And it's kind of like, would you go to a stock car race, a NASCAR race, if it was electric vehicles?
Oh, not at all. It takes all the fun out of it. That's the whole point. I probably won't ever drive an electric vehicle because I like to hear the vroom vroom sound. But it's absolutely true. Because when I go to a concert, I want it to be super loud. I want to feel the experience.
Oh yeah. No, we went to the last time, and again, I'm getting too old for that crap, really. But well, at least for the loud stuff, we went to a few years ago. We went to see Little Big Town over in Knoxville, and it was in a theater venue. It was like their old theater that's right in the middle of town. So it's not a big venue. But man, they were so loud, my ears rang for 2 days.
Look, mine was ringing the rest of the day after that because we were in there the whole time they were doing sound check. Of course, they've got to run through, a whole breadth of songs that they use for doing sound check. And I mean, it went from everything from a reggae to heavy metal to rap, and it was like, wow, man, and we're screaming at each other. I mean, we're about hoarse from trying to communicate. We're up there doing sign language trying to communicate. So there came a time where we just had to get out of there, and it was about quitting time anyway, so it wasn't too bad. I was ready to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, it's well, it has again when the theater gets not the theater, but when that venue gets full, I think it's not as loud to everybody just due to the absorption.
Oh, there's a lot of truth to that. And the floor they put down before they do any of that, it's got this rubber. It looks like that stuff you put in for like kids' floors for like play time and stuff. They got these they're like puzzle pieces, and they're like inch and a half thick, and they put that down through the whole stadium. The floor of the stadium, I shouldn't say the whole stadium, but just the bottom floor there where the field is, they put this stuff down. And it's pretty interesting, but I think that absorbs a lot of it as well.
I'll bet it does. You're right. Yeah, it wouldn't. It also, it's AstroTurf or is it real grass?
No, they've got AstroTurf now because every time they had that real grass in there, it took so long to have to replace it, so they got turf now.
Yeah. Well, football ain't what it used to be, man. I like it when the guys come around off the sidelines, you couldn't tell what number they had.
That's what I'm talking about, and now it's got so political, and it's just, I don't know, man. I'm a diehard Green Bay Packer fan and have been my whole life, which I'm from up there, and that's the reason why it kind of ingrained in you when you're born up there. But at the same time, it's, golly, man, with all the nonsense going on with it, I've kind of lost all interest in it, and I love football, and it's sad that it's, this country's turning into what it is.
There was a game, I heard it, I don't think I saw it. It was back in the 60s. And there was a game, and it was a muddy game with rain. And the rain was pooling on the sidelines. And one of the guys went out for a pass, and he got hit real hard, and he landed face down and slid into and through this puddle. And he was kind of semi-knocked out, and they had to pull his face out of the water because it was that deep.
Oh, man. So he was on the verge of probably drowning if he was out cold.
Yeah, that's what they said. I forget the guy's name right now, but they said he was the only man that nearly drowned at a football game.
That's rough. I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and the other times when you'd see a guy get hit hard and he'd land in an awkward position in a grass field, and he'd come up and there'd be pieces of turf stuck in his helmet. That was always good.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. Yeah, and a little concussion there.
And he couldn't walk straight. No, it's just fun. Yeah, I don't know. There's something because if you were from Green Bay or from that part of the country, you know what I'm talking about. You go to football games in November and the ground is already frozen, so those guys are taking a beating on a grass field.
Oh, there's no question. That up there, the frozen tundra, man, that's brutal. the cold, I don't even know if I'd want to stand there and watch. Sometimes, you know, the ice bowl was 42 below wind chill factor, I do believe.
Yeah, that was 67 or 68, I think. 67.
Yeah, 67.
Yeah, yep. I remember where I was when I was watching it. That's kind of funny.
I was not born yet, but I have it here at the house on DVD.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the quick story. We were watching the game. It was a big game. We were over at this girl's house. Me and she had a couple of friends over, and there was a couple of us guys over. We were watching it. Her dad was there. And her dad might as well have been here. He's watching one of the most exciting football games that's ever been played up till that point. And he sat there stoic like he was watching a ballet or something. You know, he just, whatever. We're all going crazy.
Oh, yeah. That was man, it's a good game to watch even now. I like it when they show repeats of it on ESPN.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, anything else for the net there, Joel?
No, that's it for me. Back to you, KO4 OTV.
Very good. Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor. He is in Joel, west of Ashland City. I keep saying Joelton. But does anybody else west or south?
KO4 DFA.
Decided to jump in there late. How you doing there, John?
Well, you just caught me out of the hot tub.
Is a hot tub inside or outside?
It is outside.
Oh, cool. How big is it?
Sorry, my Bluetooth battery is dying on me. It's just one of those little tiny Colemans, but it seems to work pretty well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen some people that got like 6-person hot tubs. You know?
Yeah, I'm not that guy. We just got the 2-person one, and I think they say 4, but that's a lie.
Do you have a gas-fired something, or is it off your hot water unit?
It's electric. It's from a 15 amp circuit, and it over 2 days it gets it hot.
Oh, awesome. And of course, you have to keep it covered in between.
Yeah, and lots of chlorine.
Yeah, well, it's all good though. If that's what you like, it's cool. I went into the first time I went into one. I said, "Hey, this is cool." And I went and sat in it for a while. I was at a hotel I was staying at somewhere. I don't remember where. And I got in, and I was in there just a little longer than I should have been. When I got out, I thought I wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah, I'm actually headed to bed now.
Very good. So it was a nice casual warming experience.
Maybe a little hot.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I haven't been in one of those in years. I won't get my wife in one of those because she says it's just it's a bacteria pool for other people.
Well, it's just the 2 of us, and we put a ton of chlorine in it. So if I haven't got the cooties yet, I don't think I will.
No, I'm sure you won't. No, if it's well maintained, you don't have a problem. It's hotel pools and hot tubs that are kind of iffy, you know.
That's super sketchy, and I question all of it.
Well, very good. Anything else for the net, John?
No, I'm just gonna get my pillow ready. Have a good night.
Very good. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha in Hermitage. Anybody else west or south? Last chance for lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers.
84 VW up here in Bethpage.
Hey, Carlin, you doing well?
Yeah, I just finally got to sit down in here. I started mowing the yard around about 1 o'clock, I guess, about 2.5 acres. Got it all mowed, and then I did the trim and everything. Well, I finally got it all done, and I come in and started to wash, took a shower, and went in there and eat me something. And then I just come in here and just finally flopped down here. And I thought, I think the net's going on. So I had the radio already on, but I had the volume down. I come down here and found y'all going. So anyway, hello to everybody on the net. I thought I'd say howdy. And I guess everything's all right here. So anyway, I'll turn it back over to you in case there happens to be some more lollygaggers or anything in there.
All right, very good. That was Carlin. He's in Bethpage. It's Kilo Delta 4 Victor, uniform whiskey with a good signal. Any other lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, end time survivalists or preppers, scanner listeners who have to email me? All right, last chance, or second to last chance, or third to the last chance. All right, very good. We're going to jump right over to where are we going? 144.240, 144.240 upper sideband, which will be immediately followed by 50.135 if you don't have the upper sideband on 2 meters, which usually if you have an upper sideband on 2 meters, you do have 6 meters upper sideband. So we'll catch you guys there. K4P then over on 144.240. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex Net here on 144.240. Looking for check-ins from the south. Please come now. Anybody from the south or east?
Kilo 5 Sierra.
All right, I got 2 in there at the same time, but I heard them both. I heard the Carrie in there, Kilo 5 Sierra, good signal, and also Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, both sounded real good. Who else is south or east?
KG4 CXE, Kristen Royal.
Oh, you decided to skip the 2 meter FM that, eh?
I was honestly watching a movie and I just realized it, so I just ran in here.
Man, what do I have to do? Call you?
No, it's all good, man. I'm going to try to keep up with it.
I tell you, you really, to get the whole Cavalcade experience, you have to go for all of them.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, very good. That's Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. That's Chris over in Rural Hill. Who else is south or east?
Hey, I'm for VDB.
Hold on. I had 2 in there as well. EBG, and we had KM4. It's Stan. That's who we had. KM4 Hotel Quebec Echo. I believe that's what it is. Stan, that is your call, isn't it? Very good. I did. Sometimes my memory fails me in a spur of the moment there. Anyway, there was Stan, KM4 Hotel Quebec Echo, and we also had ZDG in there, and that's my Kevin, excuse me, KI4ZDG. I had to remember the prefix there. He's in. You sound good. So give me another call back there, Kevin.
Yeah, Paul. It's Kevin here in Clayville.
Yeah, very good. You sound great. That was Kevin, Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf in Gladeville. Who else is east or north? East, north, or west?
KM4YRF.
Very good. Big signal there, Michael. KM4YRF in southeast Nashville or west of BNA, whichever you choose. Who else is west?
KG4ILB.
All right. You didn't hear me check you in on. I checked you in on DMR this evening. Jack, I checked you in.
Oh, D-Star?
No, I checked you in on DMR. I pretended I was you.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Yeah, now Michael thinks you got a DMR radio.
That's hilarious.
Hey, listen, we don't have any rules.
Well, that's right. We can't break them if we don't have them.
That's right. That's Jack. Kilo Golf 4, India, Lima Victor, who checks in on nets he doesn't even have a radio for. Who else? West or anywhere?
Kilo Golf 4.
Okay, hold on. There was 2 in there. I had KF4, KFQ, Tony and Smyrna with a good signal. Then I heard Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor Echo in Antioch. Both had good signals, by the way. Let me do this. Let me check that again. Tony, I want you to listen out and have Greg, go give your call out again, see if he can hear you on the upper side beam.
Okay, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor Echo. How copy?
I know there's somebody there. He's down in the noise road.
Okay, well, at least you can hear him a little bit on sideband that you can't hear him on, on the DMR.
Yeah, with headphones, I would be able to understand him.
Okay, very good. Greg says he's got a pretty good copy on it. He'd be able to full copy with his headphones were on. Anyway, who else is south or anywhere? South or anywhere? Last chance. Lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers again. Very good. We had 10 people there on the upper sideband. We're going to move right over to where are we moving over to? Oh, yeah, we're moving over to 6 meters, 50.135. Anybody else want to check in before we go? All right, we're going over to 6 meters. Michael, if you would make that announcement over on FM, it'd be great.
Will do, Bob. Wow.
Very good. That was Michael. Moving over to 50.135, K4P. Very good. This is Kilo 4 Pop Echo Whiskey with Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Looking for check-ins on 6 meters. Please come down. Kilo 5 Sierra. Not too good conditions tonight. You're very low tonight there, Carrie. This is K4 PEW. How you copying me? Yeah, very good. You're the same way. Just low and because if I didn't have my headphones on, I don't think I would have heard you at all. I would have had to turn up the volume all the way. Anyway, who else is South? We'll start there. South or west? If there's somebody talking, I can't hear. KO4OTV got you in there solid there, Joel. KO4OTV up there west of Ashland City. Anybody else? Actually, anywhere. Just jump in there.
KG4CXE, Kristen Royal.
You want to check in twice for the other net?
Absolutely. Hey, I heard Kerry really well. He was just about as loud as you, just a little less signal. But then the guy in Ashland City, I barely heard him.
Right. Well, yeah, it seems odd how different it is being relatively close. But Joel up there was very strong to me, and Kerry was very, very weak. Anyway, let me move on. That was Chris, KG4, Charlie X-Ray Echo over in Rural Hill. Who else is anywhere? Who was the other station I just heard? All right, KM4HQ. I got you in there, Stan. Stan, are you copying many people or all the people so far? All right, very good. Who was the other station after Stan? Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Anybody hearing anybody? I think that may have been who I didn't hear, but I do hear you, Greg. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Mike, try again, please. Yep, I got you in there. KM4YRF over there, southeast Nashville. It's better than terrible. It's I can hear you, but I'm glad I got my headphones on. Who else is any place anywhere? All right, I got two in there. KI4ZDG. I got Kevin here in Gladeville, and I got Jack over there in Donaldson. Kilo Gulf 4 India Lima Victor. Yeah, the conditions are good in some directions, but not others. Jack, you're very low to me. Are you low to me? Am I low to you? Interesting. Yeah, it's very quiet in some directions. And how about you, Kevin? How are you copying people? Good.
Decently well. I got Chris really good, but I think he's very close to me. And then I don't remember the first station. We remember what his name was, but I got him second number 2.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's just odd conditions tonight in 6 meters. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's terrible, and tonight's not terrible. It's just very, very low, bad conditions. I'll just say. Anyway, that was who was that? That was Kevin, KI4ZDG here over in Gladeville. Who else is any place anywhere? Is anybody copying anybody I can't hear? All right, we'll call it quits at 9. We had 9. That's quite a bit. It's a big number for a kind of a bad night on 6 meters, but that's 9 people. And we had 10 on 2 meters upper sideband, and we had 25 on FM. And then we're going to go right over to 223-415. So I'll see some of you there because it's such an elite net, and we finish off with a big bang and exclamation marks on the Cavalcade. So we'll see you over there on 223-415, K4PEW.
You're loud over here to me, but I can't hear Jack or Kevin.
All righty, I'm going over to 223-415. We'll catch you in a minute. K4PEW. This is K4PEW looking for check-ins, and I know they're going to have fewer here, so let's see. I'm going to see. Greg, you still there?
I am. Yeah, you sound good tonight. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Very good. You sound great. It's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is out there besides Greg?
KF4 KFQ.
Very good. Got you in there, Tony. KF4 KFQ. Did I hear Jack in there too?
Yeah, roger that.
Ah, very good. Did Michael say he was going to be up for 220 tonight?
Yeah, I heard it. Trying to check in. You probably didn't hear it.
Michael, you still there?
Michael's still there. Got a copy on his file.
Nothing.
Bars. I don't know how many copies that's often on. I don't know then. Yeah, I heard you, Paul.
Ah, very good. Who was that you heard?
I heard you, Michael.
Who, I don't know who's saying that, though. Who heard me?
Carlin.
Oh, very good, Carlin. Yeah, I didn't recognize your voice. Sorry about that. Very good. Glad to hear that. How are you? Are you copying anybody else, Carlin?
Yeah, I heard somebody there a second ago. I have about an S3 on.
All right, very good. Yeah, conditions are good here around me, but they don't sound as you don't sound as strong as the last time we talked on 220.
Yeah, you're not an S9 here tonight. Looks like you're an S5. So I guess the conditions a little bit. We got that front coming. That's probably what got the atmosphere a little bit messed up.
Yeah, well, it messed up 6 meters as well. It was 6 meters was really quiet tonight. All right, very good. Anybody else in there? That was Carlin up in Bethpage. Yeah. Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. Who else we got?
Did you hear Jack Relay and Mike in?
Yes, I did. Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. I got you, man. And Jack, Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor and Donaldson. And let me give you a quick rundown. There's me, K4PEW here in Mount Juliet. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo Greg in Antioch. Kilo Foxtrot 4 Kilo Foxtrot Quebec. And that's Tony in Smyrna. KG4ILV in Donaldson, that's Jack. KM4YRF Michael in Southeast Nashville, and Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. Is there anybody? And that's the Carlin and Bethpage. Anybody else? Well, it's a good group. Having what is that? 6 of us in there tonight. That's a little better. That's a little better than average, but I'm glad we had 6. There's a few more that just aren't here tonight. I can think of at least 2 or 3 more that haven't run in here yet. Has anybody got anything for this net? Well, I'll take that as a no. I don't know. We have anything. We got nothing to say. We might as well close on that, and we'll go do other things. That's. But we had a good. I think it was a good cavalcade tonight. Oh yeah, no, it's all good, all good. I don't know what we'd have to do if we went back to getting 30 and 40 every night. 45, because we were hovering in the mid to late 30s numbers, and that was a struggle really to get through in a less than an hour and 40 minutes. Oh yeah, well, see, I schedule it that way so that he gets them and I don't. Very good. Well, I'll close out the net. You guys have a good night. K4PW, appreciate your participation. 73.